Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and I just finished watching Blade 2. Although, for some weird reason, on Amazon Prime Video, it describes the title of Blade 2 as being Blade 2 Blood Hunt. I have never, ever heard it described that way, ever besides Amazon Prime Video. So let me know if you've ever heard it described as that. Amazon Prime Video has a ton of good movies. So I've got like 15 movies in my watch list. I think next I'm going to do all of the original crew Star Trek movies, except for Star Trek 3, which I remember just absolutely hating as a kid. So I don't even think I'm going to check that one out. But I'm going to watch that Star Trek 5, even though I saw it. All I remember was Scotty bumping his head. That was it. But anyway, this experience of watching Blade 2 was very, very strange because I saw Blade 2 when it came out in the theaters. I was actually at 29 Palms seeing it for, I believe that was free. Back in the day, some of the military theaters were free and some weren't, but even the ones that weren't, a ticket was like $1.50. And that was like 15 years ago. So, anyway, I absolutely loved Blade 2. I probably saw it 3, 4, or 5 times in the theaters. I saw it a million times on video. But what I never did was watch Blade 2 one day after watching Blade 1. So I reviewed Blade 1 yesterday, and I was just shocked at how good it was and how complete and fully formed and entertaining it was. And one of the things that's killing me about the Blade series is that Blade, the main character, he's in 4/5, or he basically is 4/5 of the first movie. He's about 2/5 of the second movie, and he's 1/5 of the third movie. So one of the big things where they're always like, why'd they stop making Blade movies? And they always talk about supposed bad behavior from Wesley Snipes, specifically on the third movie. But can you imagine if, what was the third Indiana Jones movie? Oh my gosh. The one with his dad in it, whatever. Temple of Doom, Crystal Skull. Whatever the one is, the third one. Imagine if in every Indiana Jones movie, they started making him less and less of a part of it until he's effectively a supporting character in his own movie. So one of the things I kept thinking while watching Blade 2 this time is Blade 2 should have been Blade 3. And the real Blade 2 should have been very, very similar to Blade 1. It should have concentrated on Blade and Whistler and, one new villain and taking place in the real world. So one of the things I was talking about in my review of Blade 1 is I forgot it was set in the real world. There was this kind of underworld, no pun intended, of vampires and 2 vampire hunters. But it was mainly just, regular LA. This one is set in Prague, but it's not real Prague. And it's almost like it's a video game of a movie, but not the movie. And that's weird to say because Blade 2 is legitimately an excellent movie. It's just a weird sequel to Blade 1. It's almost like a completely different take. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, this one introduces 2 things. It introduces the Reaper strain, which kind of presages Guillermo del Toro's novel and then TV show The Strain. The Reapers are effectively super vampires who hunt both humans and vampires, but they're more like space aliens. They're almost more like kind of like xenomorph vampires. And then it introduces the Blood Pack, who is kind of like a personal security detail for Lord Damaskinos, who is a lord of vampires, but I don't think he was the lord of vampires. He might have just been the lord of Czechoslovakian vampires. So it starts off in Moscow. Blade is rescuing Whistler, and he has a new assistant called Spud, played by Daryl from The Walking Dead, I forget it, and The Boondock Saints. So this character is actually really a fun character. I really liked Scud. Okay, spoiler, Scud wait, is it Spud or Scud? It's Scud, right? Yeah, Scud is at one point he's kind of like this cliche Gen X annoying cheeseball guy, but I took it as an affectation like the first 30 times I watched it that he kept rubbing his chin right below his lip. And then I forgot that in the like one of the final scenes, he pulls his lip down and he's got a tattoo showing he's a familiar. So that's the reason he's rubbing his lip, because he just got a tattoo on the inside of his mouth. But they rescue Whistler. Whistler is been vampirized, and they have a way of curing him if he goes cold turkey. And then they basically get recruited by this group called the Blood Pack, who are very, very much of a kind of supervillain group. One of the things when I was reading all of the comments on my review of Blade 1 is people kept saying, why do you call this a superhero movie? Nobody sees it as a superhero movie. I remember my normie friends, when it came out, they always just described it as a vampire movie. So this one is kind of weird because it goes straight into basically, 1990s Marvel comics. Here's the Blood Pack, and it's all these cool people with cool. I actually got really good names like Lighthammer, Verlaine, Chupa, Priest. Oh, I forgot what Donnie Yen is called. Ghost, and then Reinhardt, who is what's his name? Ron Perlman. And then they have Nisa, who's kind of the love interest, except for she isn't, except for she is. She's a love interest because she's the prettiest woman who talks to the lead actor the most. But the lead actor is almost barely a lead actor, and it's really more of an ensemble piece. So it just becomes the least skeevy vampire is really pretty, and Blade kind of likes her a little bit, or not. I get the feeling he forgot about her like the next day. But then we were dealing with this supposed main villain, which is the son of Damaskinos, whose name is Jared Nomak. So I'm like a stickler for names, and a good name is just the most valuable thing if you're a storyteller. And I don't know why, but Jared Nomak is one of my favorite villain names ever. So he's played by Luke Goss. Luke Goss was also the prince in Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, which did I review that? Or did I? I gotta check if I reviewed that or not. It's actually a really good movie. I kind of want to rewatch it. So, one of the things that was kind of like weird and a little sad is I love Blade 2. I've seen it dozens of times, but I kept getting kind of angry at Guillermo del Toro. I was like, you know what? You were kind of selfish, Guillermo. You watched Blade. It's a fantastic movie. It set up this franchise. And then you basically said, I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want. Basically make a Hellboy movie and then throw Blade in it like 20% of the time. So it's cool. It's got good visuals. I like every part of it, but it's not really a Blade movie. It's like a Blade spin-off movie where Blade is cameoing in it. Besides that, everything looks cool. Everyone looks cool. It's awesome. It's just a little frustrating because I was like, where's Blade 2? Where is it? Where is the Blade 2 that was never made? Because Stephen Norrington was asked to direct Blade 2 and he turned it down. Oh, I was asking people like, how come Stephen Norrington hasn't made a movie since 2003? And apparently he had such a problem on the last one, he just kind of doesn't care. Like he'll develop stuff and then take producer credit and then he'll just chill. I was like, all right, cool. But I gotta say, between the two of them, this is a weird thing to say. Blade 2 is more my style. It matches the movies and the comic books I generally like. But Blade 1, I would say, is a better Blade movie. Now, tomorrow I'm going to review Blade Trinity, which I actually absolutely love. But again, I never watched Blade Trinity right after watching Blade 1 and Blade 2. So Blade, as much as I say Blade was, de-emphasized in this movie, oh my gosh, he is barely in the third movie at all. It gets a really low budget. It's effectively a long episode from a TV show. That being said, I love the characters. I love the humor in the third one. So we'll see. So I'm gonna do Blade Trinity tomorrow, and then probably start doing those the original cast Star Trek movies. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll have that Blade Trinity review up tomorrow.